You know, as governor, I took a double-digit unemployment state and I turned it into an economic powerhouse. Businesses were my partners because if you take care of your businesses, you take care of your economy takes care of the people, and everyone wins. And so that's the way we dealt with it. South Carolina was a very anti-woke state. It still is. And if Disney would like to move their hundreds of thousands of jobs to South Carolina and bring the billions of dollars with them, I'll let them know. I'll be happy to meet them in South Carolina and introduce them to the governor and the legislature that would welcome it.
Bring your groomer money to South Carolina. That's the message from presidential hopeful Nikki Haley yesterday on Fox. I mean, I understand that sometimes, campaigning gets, a little hard and you want to get out of the race, but damn, you don't have to do so theatrically. Welcome back to the program. Dana Loesch here with you. Why do Republicans do this to themselves? Why do people step on rakes and just nuke their campaigns like this? So here's the more that I thought about this, the angrier that it made me, because it felt like these, some of these people talk a really good game about, sticking up for parents and sticking up for voters, because that's what all of this was about. That's what all of this was about with Florida. This is about the parental rights and education bill, the whole don't say gay thing. That's what this was about. And for her to say what she said, she said this, and then she tweeted out, quote, and I sent this out to all you subscribers. The tweet's still up there. She said, quote, "Hey, Disney, my home state will happily accept your 70,000 plus jobs if you want to leave Florida. We've got great weather, great people, and it's always a great day in South Carolina. South Carolina's not woke, but we're not sanctimonious about it either." Direct quote. She tweeted that out. So she decided, okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, how forthright do you want me to be? Kane?
As forthright as you need to be.
No, just tell it. Do you want it 11 or do you want it like 2?
Actually, you know what? Today I kind of wanted 11.
She used a cutie little term to kiss Trump's butt so she could get VP. That's what she wants to do. She's auditioning for VP. I know that she takes great offense at that being said. She's auditioning for VP. Let's not play around. And don't sit here and tell me that you're not woke when every other syllable out of your mouth is woman, woman. I'm a woman. I'm a woman running for president. Vagina, vagina. I'm a woman. I got a vagina. Woman, woman running for president. Woman. So I can't really take seriously that, the whole, well, we're not woke. But come up with your own insult at least. I mean, don't steal sanctimonious from Trump. Do people know what that, what some of that means? Like the Latin root? Anyway, but just use your own insult. The person who was sanctimonious in this was her towards Florida parents. One of the reasons, let's be real about this, one of the reasons that Disney is such a powerhouse economically is because of the favored status and special accommodations that they received exclusively. No other corporation in Florida received this. And they use that as leverage to wage war on parents in Florida because Disney decided bizarrely that they were going to get involved in this whole parental rights and education bill. That's what this is. That's what this whole fight is about. And the parental rights in education bill was simply a bill that affirmed parental rights over their children in the classroom. Meaning, if something is considered age inappropriate, parents need to be asked before it's introduced in the classrooms as reading material or put in the libraries. See, it's not like the left when they literally pulled Dr. Seuss and Mark Twain's books off the shelves. That's a banning. This was parents need to be asked. If you are, just to go back to that one stupid tweet George Conway made a couple of weeks ago, where he was talking about strip clubs in Florida, probably because he was in one. You wouldn't take your kids to a strip club. You wouldn't take your 7-year-old to a strip club, would you? Because that would be inappropriate for their age, would it not? Just like you wouldn't take some young children to an R-rated movie. It would be inappropriate for their age, would it not? So do we also agree that maybe having picture books showing teenagers wearing strap-ons and engaging in all various forms of sex graphically and explaining it in great detail along with the photos, that might not be age appropriate either, right? And don't you think as parents that you have the authority to determine what is or is not age appropriate for your child? Because if you take a position opposite that, then that's what you're supporting. That's what the Parental Rights and Education Bill was all about. There's nothing sanctimonious about it. Disney decided to use the economic leverage that they had been given from their favored status, from all of these exclusive anti-capitalist and big government accommodations and favors. They use that as a way to get involved in this and try to wage war over other people's kids. And so they had that status removed. And there are some Republicans, apparently Nikki Haley is one of them, who think that this is an anti-conservative position. So I'm curious, is the new flaccid Republican platform to support cronyism and to support giving exclusive accommodations to big corporations so that they don't have to pay their fair share? Isn't that what the left, by the way, the left, Disney's the only company that the left is, the only corporation the left has been cool with not paying their fair share. Because that's exactly what this was. There are a lot of people who don't understand the Reedy Creek development. They don't understand how it came to be, how it was structured. They don't understand the nature of the original board. They don't even understand the takeover. I get it that people are busy and they don't have time to get involved in municipality minutia in other people's states. But if you're going to go on Twitter and rail about it, or if you're going to run for president and tweet about it and give interviews about it, maybe, just maybe, do us all the courtesy of understanding it first. Now, I mean, this situation, because Disney, and John Turley had a really great write-up on this, because he said, oh, Disney's going to file suit, but they're going to lose. He's like, they're going to lose this. And he explained why. And he said Disney's unchecked authority, you know, it's not, this is, he goes, the House of Mouse made a costly miscalculation. He said that the Reedy Creek Improvement District controlled the Disney property. By the way, this is the thing. Sidebar to this. All these Republicans go out there, and the ones that are trying to run on the left, to the left, they're like, oh, well, Ron DeSantis and the state law and Florida lawmakers appointed a board. They handpicked the board. You guys didn't object when Disney entirely controlled the board. That's one thing John Turley notes. The Reedy Creek Improvement District controlled the Disney property, and Disney controlled its board. The board technically was elected by those living on Disney property, which amounts to a small number of people living amongst the quote-unquote cast members. He said it was a breathtaking deal for the company. It set its own building standards, granted its own construction permits, determined the scope of services, building codes, waste collection, and other infrastructure matters. He added, outside of the Vatican, such self-governance is little more than a fantasy for companies and organizations. And it was when Disney went public with their stated goal of taking down the Parental Rights and Education Act. And then Bob Chapek caved to his employees. They wanted the company to take a public position. Disney's been woke for a long time, but this was a new level of getting involved in politics. So you can't say that people were waging war against Disney because of its wokery. Disney's been woke for a long time and nothing has happened. It's when they decided to actually wage war against the people who granted them, you know, all of these exceptions and exemptions and accommodations. So Turley noted the state responded by removing the favored status, gutting the Reedy Creek Improvement District, creating a new board with governing authority over Disney properties. And he added, Disney could have still tried to find a compromise. Instead, it did something even more reckless. In the final days of the Disney-dominated board, the members voted to transfer powers to the company. Disney is used to being its own self-governing boss. The history may have warped its judgment in attempting this power grab. He said it's a move that would make the Pirates of the Caribbean blush. He said the declaration of restricted covenants gives Disney total control of the development and even bans the new board from using Disney's name or any of its fanciful characters. It added what is called a royal clause used in England since 1692. And he said, Disney may have been too clever by half. The Hail Mickey play is fundamentally flawed. And then he proceeds to legally gut it. Checkmate. It's over. Disney's just prolonging the inevitable. And you have some Republicans that are choosing to side with the left. You have Asha Hutchins and even Donald Trump. Which is why I said Nikki Haley trying to be cutie and not even coming up with her own insult is a VP audition move. And it's not like Disney's going to be able to just like pack up and leave. And by the way, judging by the all around 2,000 something comments just on one of my Instagram posts about this, and tons of people from South Carolina with their accounts saying that they're in South Carolina with photos of them in their house in South Carolina, they're livid about this. They don't want Disney there. But maybe she wants that Disney donor money. So I did a deep dive. This is all like public record. Did you know that in 2020, America First Action, which is the Trump-aligned PAC, received more money than Joe Biden from Disney, from the Walt Disney Company, not employees, from Disney. Now, I know that like some of the top executives have also given a lot to America First PAC, and I have those records too. But I'm just saying, you know, maybe, I don't know. Maybe she's after that Disney, that Mickey money. Who knows? But you know what I think? In order to try to differentiate yourself from a perceived potential candidate, running to the left of him is one of the dumbest moves I can imagine. And bizarrely claiming that removing Disney's anti-capitalist accommodation is big government and criticizing Disney's fighting parents for control of their kids. I mean, whose side are you on? Imagining insulting an entire state of voters by labeling their fight over parental rights and education as sanctimonious for a VP audition. You know, there are some people that are so hell-bent on securing power that they will sacrifice the fight over who can influence your kids and how to do it. That's the real issue here. And I'll ask this too. If Nikki Haley can't stand up to Disney, how in the world would she be able to stand up to China? If she can't stand up to Mickey Mouse, how would she ever be able to stand up to Xi Jinping or Vladimir Putin? If you can't even deal with a smaller scale tyranny at home, how in the world would you ever deal with it on a larger scale? I just don't see how you come back from this. If you're siding with woke corporations against parents and their kids, you better expect heat and response. And that's what this is. There are a few people out there who do not understand that the very definition of big government is to grant limitless accommodations exclusively to a favored corporation. Removing those accommodations is the opposite of big government. So I guess she's okay with giving certain businesses, corporations that are woke like this, especially, special privileges. I was just really shocked to see that because I thought that she was savvier than this and I thought that she was a better strategist than this. But I don't even know if this rises to the level of being VP material. The most dangerous place in the world is between a parent and their child. So take note, primary candidates.